Bye, Kingdom Kids. Today we're talking about Job. So, in this story that we're going to be talking about of Job, Job was a real person, so this is a real story. Job was a real person. And so Job was a good man, he was a just man, and he didn't do anything wrong, okay? But one day the enemy came to heaven, the devil came to heaven, and he was like, "Hey, I want to do all these bad things to Job, and then he's going to curse you." He was telling God. He's like, I want to do all these bad things, and then Job is going to curse you. So God's like, "Okay, go ahead, do all these things, but I will not let you kill him." So the enemy's like, I can do this. This is good. And he's like, "I have permission from God, so I get to do all these things." It wasn't that God didn't love Job, and it wasn't that God was mad at Job. God was refining and testing Job. So here we see, there's all these bad things happening to Job. His animals were, something happened to his animals. I'm trying to remember. It's been a little bit since I've read the story of Job, but, stuff happened to his animals. A house collapsed on, I think it was a house that collapsed on his children. And I'll put the story of Job on here. And all this bad stuff happened to his children, and all this stuff. So Job still did not curse God. And Job's wife is like, all these things are happening to you. God is allowing these things to happen to you. God was allowing them. But like I said, God was testing Job. God was refining Job. And so, even when bad things happen, don't immediately think, God's mad at me. I did something wrong. Or don't listen to, when bad stuff's happening, don't think, "Oh, I broke my leg because God's mad at me," and then let your friends come in, "Oh yeah, you broke your leg because God's mad at you. You did something wrong." God might just be testing you and refining you in those areas of your life. So Job's friends were not much of a help either. They were like, "You must have done something wrong. You must have done something bad." So on everything, Job's sons and daughters, they're dead. Job's animals are gone. He's got all these boils on his skin. I think that's what it was. Those boils. He's got stuff going on with his skin. Like these itchy sores all over his skin. His wife's telling him to curse God. His wife's not even much of a help. Even his friends are telling him, "Oh, you must have done something wrong." But guess what Job was doing? He was still praying. There was nobody but God on his side, and he was still praying. Job decided, "You know what? I'm not going to let this happen. Even if I did something wrong, Lord, I'm sorry." But he didn't look at it like that. Even with these itchy sores, God, after all that, blessed him. So remember, if, something bad's happening to you, don't immediately think God's mad at you. He may just be refining you. He may just be, sharpening you in those areas of your life. Bye, Kingdom Kids.